Howdy everybody out there in YouTube land. Welcome back to the channel. We're doing a live today, and as you can tell by the title, we're going to be making a card routine. So it's going to have 3 phases. We're going to work our way through it. Let's see how it goes. The first thing I like to do is make sure that I am live. That's the important thing. Okay, we are up, so I can see your chat right over here. Okay, so to start us off, what I'd like to do is I'd like to do a little bit of a preamble. You know, we're going to start off here. We're going to use a silk. Yeah, we're going to use a silk. No, not this silk. No, we don't want this silk. We actually want, we want this one. It's more colorful, you see? That way you can see it a little bit better. Okay? So since we don't need this one, we're going to get rid of that. So now we're ready to go here. But first, we're going to need to do something with this ring. You could check it out if you want. It's, it's just a regular ring. Over to here it goes. And it's gone, but you can make it reappear on the finger. Ooh. Good stuff, right? So now, we're going to go into this. We're going to put it onto the ribbon. Now this is the hard part to do this by myself on the live, right? So this is something that I would typically do with the spectator. I could hand out the silk, hand out the ring. Everything can be examined, and that's kind of the important part for this routine. Now I haven't really come up with a good pattern for it yet, but the idea is building on other props. It's very important to have that. So what we're going to do here is we're just going to simply pull that, and it's going to melt through the silk. Beautiful. Now all of this is in preparation of the ring. You've had this ring in your hand, you've seen it, you can clearly see it's just a regular old silver band. Now we're going to get into the card magic, right? Beautiful stuff here. So we just want to make sure that no matter what happens, we're going to have a card selected. That's the important thing. And today we're going to go with the Ace of Hearts. The Ace of Hearts. Now if we've practiced this enough, we could actually get this to go into the deck. And you can see that all of the cards are different. Not sure I enjoy that. That was a little bit of a flash, but that's okay. So the aces pop back to the top. We're working our way through the trick because we're building on it. We haven't done anything yet here. This is the basic idea. So if you're following along with this, this is the basic plot. The plot is we want to introduce the ring. That's the big thing for the first step. Okay, then we're going to go into the card trick, maybe do a little bit of ambitious card. That's what's important. Then we want them to take their card. They're simply going to have their card there. It's going to be theirs, right? Then what we've got to do is we've got to figure out a way where we can, let's see, we've got to figure out a way where we can take this, here we go. We're gonna kind of just like, did you feel that? Yeah, did you feel the moment? Oh. I've actually stolen the essence of the card and put it onto the ring. And now you can take a closer look at the ring, and the ring is now covered in Ace of Hearts. And the card is blank. Yeah, your card's actually gone. It's not in the pack at all. Yeah. I could even do something along the lines of making all of the cards. I don't know if I could do that with this pack. It's a funny business thing. Yeah, so I can kind of do it. But anyway, thank you for sitting through that if you're still here. Here's the premise. Here's the plot. Here's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about building the routine. Now, we don't have to go back into the silk thing. That's fine. All I need to do is introduce this ring at some point. and do some ring magic. Now I have a ring. Now the idea is that I need to switch out that ring at the moment for that. Now that is something I don't even have to do in a magical way. Again, like having this ring here, the heat is off from this ring. Doesn't matter. The only thing is that they need to have seen this ring. Like you could do multiple routines with it. For instance, you can do the ring through silk, and then you can do something that I've been learning from Rick Holcomb. It's not a 3-fly, but it's a coins across with the ring as the plot. So they have seen this ring. They've had this ring in their hand. They know the ring is just regular. Now, at some point, when you hand them their Ace of Hearts, okay, at some point when you've handed them the Ace of Hearts, you're going to execute the switch, okay, and then they're holding on to that. You can have them close their eyes, have them concentrate, whatever they want to do, and then you're going to execute some sort of switch. And you want to get rid of this ring because you want to be clean, so you can always ditch that. But the idea here, this is the moment, right? They've got it, snapping your fingers, all that. But I like this moment. This is kind of where I want it to be, right? So imagine that the spectator's holding the card, and you've already switched out the ring. I want this moment where you're kind of like, it's a magical gesture, right? This is true magic. You're bringing it up like this, and you're popping it here. You got to really sell that moment that you're popping the ring so that they really draws attention to your finger and they see that. And then they look at the card, and now the Ace of Hearts is on the ring and the card is blank. So that's the moment I want to sell. That's the big moment. So now, if there were more people on here, we could go back and forth and talk about some ideas as to how to go about doing that. And if I were to do, so what I have here is I have my Pinochle deck, because I just wanted to grab something real quick that had the Ace of Hearts and the blank card. These are the only 2 cards you need. Now here's the great moment about this, is all you need to do is get rid of the Ace of Hearts. That's all you're doing. So you want to force the Ace of Hearts. However you want to do that. I just do a nice little... my brain is blanking. It's kind of late here. Riffle. No, it's not the riffle force. Slip force. So you just want to do. So you're just going to riffle down along the side. We're going to teach you some stuff today. So if you're here, you're going to learn some magic, some card magic. I don't do a whole lot of card magic during the day with Trick-or-Day May, or just carry cards with me because I want to hone the other skills. I've been doing card magic for 6+ years solid. So I've got hundreds of, not like polished routines, but I've got these little knacky tricks and techniques and stuff. So I kind of stay away from it a little bit. But in these lives, we can really deep dive and talk about these routines. So you want to do a slip force, and you want to get really good at just going down along the side, and you can play up this moment. So go ahead and say stop whenever. Just, mess with them if that's your persona, however it is, like go through all the cards, or just one at a time. Any time now. Yep, anytime now. If you get too close to the bottom, just go ahead and start over. If they're not going to say stop, that's okay. You can just stop for them. If there's any kind of force that you want to do, the idea here is you just want to get towards the center, stop, and then you're just going to pull the top card. Now with my camera the way it is, everything looks great, so thank you, camera, for pushing me up there. But the idea is that you just want to turn. You're just going to lift the top packet off while retaining that card, which is nice because now you're in this really natural position. And my recommendation would be is play around with the card a little bit, get a little bit of ambitious card. It's an ambitious card routine. Get that going. And then what I try to do is is it the Cherry Control or the Victoria? My mind is blanking. So however you want to do it, you can do a switch, you can do a second deal, however you want to do it. You can, anything you want. And I think this is the Victoria Control. Let's see if I can get it now that I'm not doing the performance. Now what I didn't like about it is that you actually flash the top card. So I would recommend not going through all the cards and just kind of hold like a small, like 1, 2, or 3 card, 2 to 5 cards at the top. But really with this control, the idea is that you want the card second from the top, but you're not really going to be able to get it with that. So I did that in the performance because it gets the card back to the top. You get to see all the cards. It's great, but it doesn't really work here. So this is what I would opt for. So I'd opt for, doing the control back to here and then just doing a switch, which all I'm doing is I'm pushing this card out and bringing it back in just very quickly. So you're just putting it back in on top, or any other ways that you can do that. You can kind of out jog this card, put it to the bottom, cover, and then just put it down. However you want to do it, because you've just brought it back to the top. So you're going to be bringing, out jogging this card just enough so that you can grab it, but you're going to flip this back over anyway so that you can put it down. It's just go for it, whatever works for you. But the idea is that you want to execute a switch, and that's why if you can get this on the top, which is great, because then you can just do a double. They clearly see their card. You're going to drop their card down as if it's the end of the day, the work day, and you're heading home. You don't care. There you go. It's done. Hold on to that for me. And then you want to execute that switch with your ring that they have seen on your hand throughout all the performances. Try to include it in a couple of different things so they know. So that when you go to do the magical gesture and you pop that up and go, oh, wait a second. Something didn't really quite go right. Whoa, and that's the first hit. The first hit is that you have a blank card. The second hit is that it's on the ring. So if they see it on the ring first, you can just go, oh, it's on the ring. Well, if it's on the ring, that means it's gone. So you're doing a double hitter there. You're getting the ring and you're getting the blank card. And I opted because I love the blank face card. It's my favorite card principle. You can show a blank deck like that, so you have a blank deck, but I opted to not do that for this routine because my ambitious card routine that I do is that I have a blank deck of cards. Now I'm going to get into an upgrade that I have found for that, but so you basically have, you're showing a blank face deck, and then you are going to control the blank card however you want. So you can show the blank face card at first. Here's a blank face card. The deck is blank. It's kind of like, it's one of those decks that it's like that plastic. The plastic that as it heats up, you actually start to see it. You actually have to heat up the deck by compressing it, and then you start to see that the cards are showing up. But if you let it, you kind of have to get some air to it. There you go, and then the ink disappears again. So that's my basic, you could do about 100 different ways of doing that with the blank face card as the force, and then you're changing the deck, you're doing that, and then you could just get rid of the blank face card when you're done. But I opted to not do that for this particular effect because there's certain things that I don't want to give away too early. I don't want there to be this notion that there's a blank face card in the deck, even though I'm magically selling it. I did this thing in a recent Trick or Day May video where somebody said that I need to hide the coin better because they can see it coming from my other hand. If that's the moment they're talking about, it's kind of hard when you have a video and you got a bunch of stuff going on. But the point is for that, my rebuttal was, who thought it came out of my nose? Like, that's the thing, is that the performance piece is a performance piece because it's not something that you can rewatch over and over again, and it's not something that you're going to be like, oh, well, it didn't come out of your nose. Well, obviously it didn't come out of my nose. I'm mimicking that it's coming out of my nose, but it's not. I can get better at the handling to make it look like it's coming out of my nose a little bit better, instead of having my hand up a little bit more, maybe lift my hand up a little bit so it is more in line with it, and that's fine, and I completely understood his criticism, and I love it. But in the same token here, I don't want to telegraph what it is that I'm doing, because if I make the vanish look flawless, but then I make the production iffy, then it's kind of questionable. So anyway, that's the first part of this, and we're going to work on this a little bit more because I would like this to be my mainstay, because I've been looking for a way to introduce the ring. I've got two of these rings with two different hearts on them. Ace of Spades, I think, and the Ace of Hearts. I like the Ace of Hearts because it's a little bit more color. So now instead of using a regular deck with the blank face card, because you can always just ditch the blank face card when you're done, I did a couple of different things here. I left this sitting out, so you thought that this was the box for that deck. A little bit of subliminal, so you thought it was a regular deck. It really, it's a euchre deck. It's the Pinochle deck, so it just has all the high cards in it. I buy it, a little bit of plug for you. Pinochle deck is a utility deck for magicians. I buy it because it has 2 sets of ace through king, and it has 2 blank face cards. If you like blank face cards, it's a go-to, because you're paying $5, getting 2 blank face cards that you can either reuse, or you can cut them up, or however you want, or you can write stuff on them. And it comes with double, like if you want to do packet tricks, you can get your aces and kings or whatnot. Or if you're going to be destroying cards, it's a great practice deck to use for that. So my recommendation is grab a Pinochle deck. Is it going to be better than a Gaff deck? Not necessarily. It's not really meant to be. The idea is that you don't want to order something, but you're like at Walmart or at a drugstore like CVS or wherever you're at. If they have cards, they might have the Pinochle deck because it's kind of a gaming cards. So you might get away with picking that up and then introducing that, with a regular deck. So you can grab the red and the blue, or if you're grabbing a new bike deck, grab one of those, and now you got Magic on the go, and so you can cut stuff up and do all sorts of stuff. Okay, so this is, I wish I remembered the name. It's the blank face deck. Mental photography, maybe, or that might be what it is. My brain isn't working tonight. I'll have to, remember what all these things are. Anyway, the main focus of this particular deck is it's gorgeous, right? Because it's blank. All of the cards are blank. So I love that. Now the real fun here is quite simple. We have an ace of hearts, right? And what I love about that is I just showed you. I mean, really, this is how remarkable this deck is. I'm talking to you nonchalantly, showing you all the cards that are blank. Everything in the deck is blank. And then all of a sudden, I just tip the deck up and show you, we actually have an ace of hearts here. I put that on the face, and now what I can do is I can show you that all of the cards are now printed. Boom. Done deal, right? But really, I'm still trying to force this ace. So that's the idea. Okay? So if I do the same thing again, I tip up. Okay, now I'm going to show you all the cards are actually going to be blank. And this is something I absolutely love about this. The mind just plays tricks on you. I set the card down, and now everything is blank. I mean, come on. That is gorgeous. I mean, if you love blank face effect, blank face cards, then I just play around with this. Like, I just seen something earlier today from Adam Weber, and he does stuff with this. It's beautiful. It is absolutely beautiful. So this is something that I need to play around with more of, because you can do it fast, where you can kind of just make all the cards just appear as if by magic, But of course, everything is blank. I mean, it's a blank deck, right? that's what I'm talking about, right? So then you've got your ace. Now you could always hide, do something like this, however you want to do it. But you got this going on. It's the only one in the deck, right? It's the only one in the deck. Let's see, how is this going to work? So I pull it out like this, then I put it down, then I'm going to cut the cards, but not actually cut them, because I just did actually cut them. So now we've changed it to the ace of clubs. I mean, you can do it quickly, and they just, it's like, oh, it's a flash. Well, it doesn't matter, because they're all blank anyway. However you want to do it, then that card's back. It's magic. That's all I'm saying. So anyway, like, I had already gone through the other part of that, But I thought about using a gaff deck, and this is so any ideas that anybody has if they watch this in the future. The idea is introduce the rings early, and I do rings for my opener with the silk through ring. So you get the ring in the spectator's hand. They get this ring, which is an Aeon ring. I'm not even going to try to pronounce the names. I have the box somewhere, but the Aeon rings you can find. You should still be able to find them. They're They were $20, and it comes with 5 rings of all varying sizes. Which stay tuned for that too, because I have been working on this concept. It's a magic ring routine. I love the idea of doing switches and stuff like that. So this is a switch. I just did a switch for my coin routine. I don't know if there's one. Yeah, there is one for rings, but I haven't really investigated it a whole lot. But so the idea for this, doing the ring switch into the heart, but I actually have a ring routine that I'm working on, but it's still early stages. It's still concept, which is I show them a ring that is clearly, this is a 13. I show them the 13, they get it into their hand, they can put it onto their finger. I'll even, hey, put your finger out, put it on there. They can clearly see that my ring is far bigger. I pick somebody with small fingers. Then what I do is cards just start falling. Perfect. Magic. So then what I'll do is I'll do a little bit of magic, and in a lot of I'll say Dungeons and Dragons and stuff like that, but any fantasy rings, magic items will reshape themselves to fit the user. So I will basically be able to at some point switch out my ring for a ring that fits their finger, which I will have to eyeball. So basically and as long as it's the small, like this is the 13, if I pick somebody who has the smallest finger, perfect. I'll get good enough to eyeball it. When they put it on their finger, it'll give me an idea. And then what I'll do is I will magically, in front of their eyes, take this ring. That's all it would take. From here, switching fingers to here to turn it, push this one out to slide on their finger, and the switch is executed, and it will fit their finger perfectly. Boom, magic. So that's my ring idea that I have, which is a magic transformation. The magic ring actually shrinks to in front of their eyes, like it's a ring switch. That's all it is. But it will shrink to their finger from this position, placing it here to turn it. So maybe do like a finger palm something here to here as we execute the switch to put it on their finger, and it will, boom, gorgeous. Oh, beautiful. Thank you, Scotty P. Thank you so much. See, and it's something that, for me, I love the idea of that, because nuts and bolts. Come on, it's magic with things. To me, I think it's something that, I don't know, I'm not sure if you had any other concept idea. Maybe it's like I don't know if you can make it work with the mechanics, but it's the self-screwing bolt. It has the wind up in it, but either way, like doing a switch and then basically your hand's off as it's now magically fitting itself to it. So you're connecting at least in my brain, I don't know if that would work, but you're connecting the two plots together because you've magically reshaped the nut to the bolt. Oh, now it's perfect. And we know it's perfect because it's going on, it's screwing itself together, or whatever. I'm not sure if that's the right way to put that, but yeah, so I love that idea. So that's my thoughts anyway on that. I'm not sure if Scotty, if you caught the card trick, the idea for the card trick, but that's the same idea. It's a ring switch. The ring that I'm currently using here, it has Ace of Hearts on it. So the idea is that you introduce a regular ring that looks very similar to it. They're going to get their hands on it. They're going to be able to put put it on their finger, whatever, and then you're going to do a card trick where you force the ace, and then you're going to switch it out for a blank face card as you pull the essence out of the card and onto the ring that presumably was in front of their face the whole time until the switch, until the moment, the magical moment of pulling the ace, the hearts off there. So that's the idea anyway. Yeah. So any ideas, thoughts, comments? Trick or Day May, have you done your day 7? Is it up yet? I haven't seen it up yet. I talk too fast. YouTube's too slow. It's like 20 seconds depending on my connection. I also have another, as I'm waiting for comments, if any's going to come in, I have another card trick idea that I've been thinking about. So back during Christmas time, I won like $1,000 worth of card magic for Magic Orthodoxy, and I've been trying to work those routines in. But in my mind, if I go online and I learn a card trick in 5 minutes and then I learn it well enough to perform it on here, no bother. I'll take it down if it's trash or whatever. But if I get something in my hands that somebody owns and produced and sold out, I'm not going to just perform it. So I'm trying to really get it down. So the concept is, for this particular idea, not to go into too much detail about the trick itself, but my ending that I want to do is a deck swap. I don't know what the... Yes, day 7 is up now, so I'll see you later. Gotta go check it out. But yeah, so that's the idea is a deck swap at the end, because of the way that the card trick works is that you're producing this magical effect with the deck box. So Scotty P, you'll love that. The trick is basically utilizes the deck box, and at the end, the only thing that was missing for me that I had, because it uses the deck box, but I also wanted a color change. So it utilizes the deck box with a card transformation. Then I wanted to add a color change to change the color of the box, but then at the end I wanted to show that the only card that they thought of was the only card that existed in that, like everything else is a different color. So the whole deck changes. So there's a dozen different ways to do that. I actually got a deck swap, 2 of them I think, or something like that, in the box, sitting right down there. It's so much stuff to go through. Packet tricks, DVDs, a book, so much stuff. I don't know if I even have anything in my everyday. I hesitate to do it. I've got a packet trick that I keep out. I've actually switched to the sympathetic cards for my packet trick. I love that. But yeah, so that sounds great. If only I knew what he was referring to. If it's the deck idea, perfect. I don't know. That's the only problem with the disconnect of having that 15 to 20 second leeway between the comments and the person is I talked way too fast. Like, just I keep going on and on and on. So yeah. So that's something that hopefully I can have come out soon. And I do have a membership section, and I don't want to push that as like a go pay money. But I'm not afraid to mess up card tricks behind the paywall, because I'm not teaching them. I'm just trying to learn them a little bit. But then that way you're paying. Deck color idea. Yes, perfect. Okay, good. Yeah. It's a concept that I actually and I've been scouring the web because I wanted to figure out what I could use to operate the deck switch, because of the way that the mechanisms work for the earlier part of the phasing is that you get right to that. I wanted to use almost like the chameleon sandwich that Doug Kahn does. I wanted to go with that concept, but excuse me, it wasn't mingling with the idea. But I liked it because it's something that could easily it can easily you're how do I want to put it, like because the mechanism for the earlier plot is already intensive. I wanted to shift more back to a normal ending so that at the end of it, when I do the deck switch, I could just carry on with the magic, which is fine, but it didn't really mesh well with where the plot leaves off. So I really have this beautiful idea where I'm messing around with it. I have, at least I thought it was called the Spectrum deck. It's multicolored back, which I have actually developed. Wish these things were easily I have so much stuff here. I usually carry it with me, but I don't know where it went today. But I guess it's not show and tell today, it's just telling. So the idea with that trick is all of the color backs is rainbow. As you can tell from my whole setup here, is that multiple color idea. So I'll have a card selected, and that there's a. It'd be better if I could show you. That's brief intermission while I try to find this. Maybe I put it in. Like I said, I try to carry it around. So this is a go bag that I put together for a magic birthday party that I'm going to be doing hopefully within the next couple of weeks. So I have everything put together, and I've been trying to do dress rehearsals and using kind of the Trick or Day May as inspiration to do these individual plot lines so that I can. Oh, here it is. Yep, I was carrying it with me. So have these individual plot lines, but then I'm comfortable. Like when I go out, my job allows me to perform here and there casually. So my normal job, not a magic job, but I will perform tricks for people and work on pattern stuff. So it's actually kind of nice. So here's my kind of everyday carry idea, if I can remember how it goes. So we have a blue Tally-Ho deck. I don't necessarily need to say that. It's just something that you can kind of see as I go through. There's extra cards in here. I don't need those extra cards. That's okay. So I think it goes something like, so we start off like this. We're going to go through the cards. This is an Alex Pandrea idea, which is instead of having them pick a card, any card, you just kind of show them casually all of the cards, which is really nice. So then you do this really interesting moment where you kind of just show all the cards just casually. And then this is actually a beautiful card that I like to use here. That's actually the Ace of Spades that has all the colors on it. So if they haven't really gathered the fact, of what it is, especially by the box, which I kind of keep like that, kind of the theme there. Let's see if I can remember the next part of this. I don't know. My brain isn't working. I think the idea is you have the card here. We're going to put it back like that, and perfect. Now if I can only remember what the next part of it was. Something like that. And then what I want to do is I kind of want to go through the cards again. And, here we go. Yep, more like this. Perfect. Okay, so I'll get to about right there. And then I think I turn over like that. No, I'm kind of messing this up a little bit, but it's okay. So your card must be... Oh, wait a second. That card has multiple colors on it. Okay. Well, hold on a second. So that's blue. So your card must be blue, right? Oh, there we go. Okay, so now you've seen the color change. Now everything is in different colors. We're going to go through here and see if we can find the card that matches, and we have. Beautiful. You know, I'd like to take this a step further. Yeah, a step further here. Let's try this. So we've got your card here like this. So this is kind of a little bit of a knacky part because I don't really have it set up, but that's fine. The idea here is something as simple as that. You put the deck into their hands, do a little misdirection, and then I actually want to reach in there and I want to pull out one card. And see, it's the colors. I pulled out all the colors, yeah. So they'll have, let's see if I can use a little bit of a stage here. I like using the box as a stage. So what I like to do here is I like to cover up that card as we've got their card here. They're gonna actually look at their card, which is the ace. Whoa, beautiful, right? But like I said, I actually took all of the color out of the deck, all of the color, and there's your card there. So that's a little finicky there, but yeah. So that's the idea. And then it leaves with this beautiful thing where you have all of this color just presented itself right at the end. Haha! So that's my current... The deck I'm actually carrying with me today, because I switch them out. Purple bikes. But this is what I would typically carry with me. I packed it in the bag. Cool idea. Yeah, it's... So one of the things that I've realized is I practice a lot of stuff standing up. So that when I'm sitting down, I'm not quite there yet with the setup as far as being able to perform things from a sitting down position. But yeah, so that particular phase for that is have them select a card. You find the card, as long as it's one of the, it's in the middle of the deck. That's kind of why you turn the cards over. So you're like, you're just checking if it's about half and half. Tin foil. I have actually seen the coins, which just because we're here talking about it. So I put together an Easter magic show, and these are my coins that I use. They're just chocolate foiled coins that... So I will actually take, for the beginning phase of that routine, is I love the two as, the coin switch. I'll just switch it out and make it gold. Make it, it's like, you start off with regular money, but you're like, this is Easter, so we're going to actually need some chocolate, chocolate. So do that, and then you switch it out, and then we're far enough in the video now when I've got, one person watching, but I switch it out for chocolate and I do Miser's Dream. So I do Miser's Dream with this, and I have a tin bucket, drop them in. It's beautiful. So yes, tin foil shaped like different things is a great concept that I have seen, especially with quarters and stuff. You have them in your hand and then you crunch it up, and then, yeah, beautiful. Now what would be nice is if they came out with a press, something something that you would be able to easily, you buy the tinfoil and then easily make objects with different molds or something. That way it's more, I'm sure it's something that you can do quickly if you shaped it out right and stuff. But if you wanted to be able to like produce them in such a way where they'll hold up a little bit because it'll be a solid piece that you can squeeze or something. But great thoughts there. So anyway, it is now 10 o'clock, and I do in fact know where my children are. So yeah, forgot where that went. Anyway, this has been quite enlightening. We've talked about putting together a card routine idea. We've talked about a couple of other ideas that I have done, and then we got some other ideas going on there. I do have a video by Scotty P. Go check him out. I got to go watch day number 7. My day number 6 is up because he's in the future. So some of you might be in the future too. I don't know. I'm behind where I'm at. But anyway, Trinket Anime is going absolutely fantastic. I'm also posting on Twitter and, well, not really Facebook, but I share to Twitter. X, formerly known as Twitter. All the fun stuff. You can follow me on any socials. Yeah, more magic to come. Just remember, always remember, checking these comments to make sure, because I like to give it that 20-minute window before I sign off, just so we're going to heart the video, because I'm awesome. I love myself. So we're going to count it down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thank you, everybody, and remember, stay positive, stay active, and stay awesome. And we'll see you in the next one. Oh no, technology has failed me. There it is.